Tesla keeps skyrocketing. Why is that, and why did we know that, and why was I so sure? As you probably recall, I went all into Tesla probably a week ago and then doubled down even more when we heard about Cybercap. And I told you guys, this is a Goldilocks moment where we actually have a situation where we have that natural gap we needed to fill. The market is coming back. Tesla had this ridiculous drop after earnings. I went out of Tesla, as I told you guys before earnings. We had a live session. I said, oh, I don't like it. Tesla dropped like crazy. I stayed out of it. I went back in around here and said, okay, market is done. Aschenbrenner is eliminated and out of the market. The market will come back and Tesla is ridiculously oversold. And I was very confident that Cybercap is actually scaling, that we see all these indications. And then what happened around here is that Cybercap launch was actually announced. And that's why I said, oh my God, this is a Goldilocks moment. We need to go all in. We are going back to 360 in no time. And as always with Tesla, you have to act very fast. I said it around here. And no time literally means 3 days. I didn't know that. So doing pretty well, recovering some of our June losses. And we have to now think about, where are we going from here? What is our game? What's the next game? And of course, media is now attributing all that stuff to all kinds of things. For example, we have a nice Tesla semi-electric truck launch confirmed for European launch that came out today. So the electric truck semis will be presented at II International Auto Ausstellung Transportation in Hanover, Germany next month. So the semi is coming. No one is even talking about semi. This is a giant deal, but the stock is not up because of that. Let's just be honest. That is nice to have, but the stock is not up because of that. The stock is up because it has to go up after this drop for no reason. And I said so. Plus, it is about Cybercap. I have no illusions when you model that out. By the way, the model is done and you will get the model. If you are a Citizen Plus member, you have access in pioneerlands.org to the investment research segment that is new. You know, I know some of you citizens, you just upgraded this week and it's still empty. So don't be nervous. We have it all coming in a first big rush. The Pioneer Academy, the Capital Academy, where we explain these models. We have a beautiful financial model now for Tesla Life with very cool things here. I'm not going to go through this in this session. There will be Pioneer Academy lessons that go through different segments of the model. For example, the valuation part, and we have very nice valuation insights here, just as a side note. But what is important, what we are seeing today is mostly because of Cybercap. And what was announced with Cybercap launch, I covered this before, is that we see Cybercap actually being launched in earnest. And you know, Tesla talked about this, and that was on August 18th, so only 3 days ago. And I said, dudes, hello, connect the dots. Cybercap launch maybe means Cybercap launch. The thing we have waited for decades is now real. Not just that, if you're just a normie investor, a normie fund manager, a normie analyst, you think, oh, let's see if it's true. You need to connect the dots and go deep into the Tesla reality. We see Cybercap produced, we see Cybercap production scaling since April. The real manufacturing we see now, Cybercap is being produced without a steering wheel. We see Tesla hiring people all over the place, all over America. And I said to everyone, dudes, I don't even need to see a Cybercap launch. I know it's launching, I know it's scaling, and you need to transcend that. Don't wait until it's too late, then the stock is catching up. You need to be in pioneer lands so you predict the future, even if we just predicted 3 days earlier than the market. That's all you need. You just need 1 day earlier. As with SpaceX, different story. So we are catching that right. I'm up a lot today, not 5%, a little bit more than that. And the question is, of course, Now that Tesla has announced, we see the Cybercab launch. You have to do it by the 23rd, which is Sunday. You need to ride in Robotaxi in Austin. And then you have a shot to attend our Cybercab launch event. No one knows when the event is, I think, unless I've missed something today. But the event is coming shortly thereafter, so probably even in August. Who knows? But latest in September, I would say. And then we will see Cybercab being launched. Okay, here is the game plan. I will go into this a little bit more next week because this is about money. We have to be on top of it. But so far, I was spot on. Now the question is that a sell the news event? Will there be a disappointment? Blah, blah, blah. And my take on this, now comes the money shot here. My take is, of course it's a sell the news event. There's just no doubt about it. Because we know now we are hyping this up. We are getting very excited about Cybercab launch. Oh my God, it's finally launching. There will be a launch. I think of probably 100 Cybercabs. I think we will see a bigger launch. Maybe at that moment, it will boost the stock even more when it happens. But then it will get slowed down again. There is no doubt about that. They will be cautious. And then there will be disappointment. Then we are selling off. So I am absolutely 100% preparing for a sell-off. Okay, you heard it here first. I'm giving away all my little trading secrets. There will be a sell-off. It's a sell the news event. But we are not at the event yet. We are dramatically, ridiculously undervalued. We are still over $120 below all-time highs from December. We do not belong here. We should be absolutely at the minimum at all-time highs. If there would be any sense in the market, Tesla should be right now at all-time highs, go a little higher, and then drop when it launches. That's logic, but it's not, which means that is good for us because we have a lot of backwind, tailwinds. Okay, the odds that this goes higher is very high. I would not look at the last 5 days and say, this is crazy. It's up 7%. It's like, who cares about 7%, by the way? That's ridiculous. We can go up much higher. So I would not put specific tactical short-term price targets on this thing. We have momentum upwards. I would say this is a event-based timing. When it actually is clear when this launch event is, I would be very cautious around that. But we have a gap to fill to 370, 380. Very tactical gap needs to be filled here, 378. And from there, you have to consider we already dropped down. We were at 425. I'm not saying that we are going above 400 before the launch. I'm saying we are going higher than we are now. That is what I'm strongly betting on. Of course, you know I like to do my bets in short puts. So I'm always having a big buffer. I'm selling right now 367.5 short puts weekly. That gives me a nice buffer. If this drops back 10 bucks, I'm not even losing money. I'm making money. If it goes up 10 bucks, I didn't lose out on anything. If it goes up more than 10 bucks, sure, I'm losing out a little bit, but that's fine. So I continue betting on this baby to go up strongly from here. I can't tell you the exact number, but we have to watch the event. And once the event happens, prepare for a little bit of a sell-off. After that, I make no predictions tactically short term. Long term, we are massively undervalued. Soon we will come out with the new Tesla valuation model. Nothing super dramatic change on my long-term targets, 2030. But I actually upped the game a little bit for 2026. We have now a new fair value for the stock, and I tell you, it's not 400. It's also not 500. So we will have that, and that gives me a lot of confidence what we do next year. Okay, today we have a little less time, so we go right into the comments and see what is going on. Beautiful day. I'm doing very well today. I hope you guys do well too. Maybe we put on, instead of the stock chart, some nice Cybercab news. I'm sure Joe Techtmeyer has new amazing shots. Where is this? Let's go right into it. and see what we actually have. CyberCap latest news. So this is all about CyberCap. That was from August 10th. That's extremely old. I don't want August 10th. August 19th, too old. Here is Sawyer Merritt. So we don't know when the launch event is. We just know they are getting notified on August 25th. So it can't be before August 25th. So we have a little bit time for the run-up. Whole Mars catalog says, Omar says, will probably be August 31st. Well, we don't know yet anything about that event. If you know anything, let me know right now. Oh, here, 56 minutes old. Here's the latest. Cybercaps were all over Giga Texas today, doing more testing at the test track, being moved at the end of line EOL and outbound lot, and being picked up by transports. We even get to see a portable vehicle tow machine being operated by an employee. These are used to easily move vehicles around by just one person. Here we see loud, I bet. Beautiful. You can watch this while we go into the comments. Let's see what the comments say. I hope you guys are doing well. Start at the beginning. Hi Joe from Thailand, Crypto Jazz. Hi to Thailand, Sawadee Cup. Let's go Joe, says Seven Bear. Here. Share this with you guys. Greetings from Denmark, from a hider, where taxes are high and brain power is decreasing rapidly. Why is brain power decreasing in Denmark? I was in Copenhagen the other day. It's very smart. Tesla will be a lot up in recovering Q's here. Exactly. And then we have Cashew, the nut from Singapore. Hello, Cashew 930. 923 Tesla shares now, hoping to reach 1,000 this year. Very nice. I'm already 96% all in on Tesla, and I'm a buy and hold until 2035 guy, not a jump in and out guy. Let's hope the CyberCap body and mind are both ready for duty. I think not perfectly ready, but they're ready to be deployed. 700 soon. That's tricky. Here, I'm all in on Tesla and BTC. Well, you have a good week, I would say. And then here, of course, the most important man, LJ. Well, woman, I don't even know LJ. Hit the like button. That's exactly what we need to do. Watch this again. Buy the Tesla. 380 sell off? No. The good Leviathan. I don't think so. I am more focused on timing of the event. Still DCA into Tesla and SpaceX, so I hope it stays low. SpaceX will be continue to stay a little low. Like people mocked me. It's always not smart to mock me. Wait. Always, if you want to mock me, just wait a month, because otherwise you might look very bad. Because I said SpaceX is hitting a 135 wall, and then people mocked me. And look where we are at with freaking SpaceX. Oh wow, 135 wall. And they mocked me because right after it went to 145. It's like, bros, you need to understand, you can't just be like that. Here I said they will hit a wall. Here I said, okay, this is very good. I'm going all into space, not all in, but I'm going hard into SpaceX short puts at 135 strike, and I made all the money, and I kept them here making money because I say this cannot go much above that. There is a selling pressure wall because all the new shares unlocks that come in, they want to get out at IPO price. But the beauty of it is that puts it into a clear window, okay, which is very rare. We know it can't drop much because they have tremendously good news coming in, and we know it can't go up much because there's a selling pressure at 135. Very interesting stuff if you like selling options. But be cautious with short calls. I'm much more into short puts because I'm much more confident that SpaceX will not drop far below 135 for now. Too many people want in. But I'm also sure it's not going much higher, but not sure enough. Because if they announce some crazy revenue, it might burn through the sell orders, and then you're screwed if you have short calls. Here, for all you all in Tesla investors, what happens if something, God forbid, happens to Elon? So, Michael, I ran some statistics on that. It just never happens. Very simple. The last time a super entrepreneur died randomly was never. Look it up. It's just not something that happens statistically. Now, I'm not saying it cannot happen, but statistically, the risk is far below 1%. Even Steve Jobs, when he got cancer, that was not a sudden drop. That was a decade or something. So who's pumping BTC? Well, we should have a dedicated Bitcoin crypto video. I always said very likely this is the bottom, and everything is super bullish fundamentally on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, maybe Solana too. And so it was just stupid to be so low. And we have to understand 4-year cycles. We have to understand that this thing was just bottoming. But I am doing fine with my micro strategy in my stock portfolio, but also my Bitcoin. China, Shill. Well, I wouldn't say Tesla is going to do fine without Elon, but once we have Robotaxi live, I do think within 6 months, Robotaxi could easily survive without Elon. And Optimus, I think in 2028, Optimus can easily survive without Elon. And Terafab, probably also by 2028. So I would say by 2028, Tesla is completely independent of Elon in terms of having 3 hyper growth trajectories that are fully understood. Elon is needed when you want to do new things that are very complicated, but Optimus is 95% done. Robotaxi is definitely 100% done. Terafab is probably 60% done, actually. So, if Elon drops out when you're 60% done, you have a problem. But if he drops out, if you're 95% done, you can complete it. If you're 100% done too. Obviously, the stock, of course, my main argument is not that we don't need Elon. My main argument is that statistically, it's extremely unlikely that something happens to Elon because nothing happened to Henry Ford, nothing happened to Benjamin Franklin, nothing happened to any of these guys, JP Morgan, nothing happened to Steve Jobs, to Bill Gates, nothing happened to Jeff Bezos. So nothing happened to any of the unicorn founders. Because these kinds of people are highly functional, they tend to be healthy. They tend to be extremely good in taking care of their health, even though we sometimes think Elon doesn't, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Elon is extremely well understood his body and health. And that's why I'm not too nervous. It's just you have to, always think like a statistician. You have to think about probabilities. LJ, exactly. FSD is pretty good. Do you follow Kerry Artak? Wicked stocks. He's thinking we see 220s. Curious your thoughts. I don't know him, but I'm pretty confident in my understanding of Tesla. So I think we're doing fine right now. Tesla should be no more than 15% of your portfolio unless you have such a large position in Tesla that even if it falls 75%, you have enough to cover your living expenses. Yes, of course. You should have your living expenses under control. Up to 5,000 cyber caps in Las Vegas is cool news as well. That's true. I think the Las Vegas approval is not the biggest news, but it's definitely helping. Everything cyber cap related helps. Tesla is 25% of my folio, rest is Bitcoin. That's pretty bold, but the odds that you will do extremely well are very high. It's a little high concentration, of course. Just make sure you have enough money. Music is too loud, music is off. Greetings, Joe from Tempe, Arizona. Looks like we have a Tesla pump due to JPMC's new price target of the. Well, the interesting thing is, what I here's what I think. I was a little surprised this week. I was a little surprised this week on the Cybercab launch news, how the stock reacted, not at all, and on the JPM news, not at all. Which was weird because both were extremely clear, extremely newly injected information that was extremely bullish, and no one reacted. And now we are reacting, which means the market is not paying attention. That's what it means. Tesla is not a super high attention stock anymore. That is bad for inflows, but it's good for alpha because it means in a normal stock, you can have an information advantage over the market, multiple days. With Tesla, that wasn't possible. Now it is possible again because I think a lot of investors are just, there are too many shiny objects. Nebius, Micron, all these things, CoreWeave, even Robinhood now, even Bitcoin now. So there's a lot of distraction right now, which is good for us if we are focused on Tesla and on SpaceX. I'm also focused on Bitcoin a little bit. I'm also focused on Micron. Not so much the neoclouds yet. But if you have a good understanding and intelligence here, these are the times where you can just get free money. Alpha information advantage is free money. And in a market that doesn't pay attention, when JP Morgan comes back from a factory visit, says all this crazy stuff, dude, it's time to buy. But you have, oh, you can't hear me? Now you can hear me. So tell me if you can't hear me. Let's scroll down to the end. Oh yeah, you can hear me. It was just music comments. I'm late on the comments. Here, what is this? If you had some leaps and long expiration in the money puts, long expiration in the money puts, you mean short or long? Would you use this buy the rumor cycle to exit a portion of them? Long-term investors. If you have long-term conviction, oh no, I wouldn't do it. It depends on your mindset. I mean, if you're in leaps at 360, no, I wouldn't be too tactical with that stuff. Hi Joe from Tucson. If launch is August 8th, 31st is a Monday, but 8:30 is a Sunday, probably a better day. Like, I don't think we will be surprised by the launch. I think they will just tell us. That's what I think. So we shouldn't be too nervous. We will know. Should we look at more X stuff, by the way? Have news here. Philadelphia, I saw this already. Why is this so weird that I can't hear? Are there more images? Loading. Look at this. Beautiful. So cool. I love these things. Okay, why would you buy SpaceX knowing that it's going to merge with Tesla? I think this is a huge mistake to do this merger speculation. You just have to treat them as separate stocks and handle them right now. This whole hoping or not hoping or whatever merger, forget it. Like, it should not influence you. You should analyze the stocks and buy the stocks you like, because this is all speculation for now. Interesting how the left heart troll wave has not hit yet today. Well, who knows? Maybe they're sleeping. I don't know. I think Elon is friends with Peter Diamandis, and he has Fountain Health. He's always pushing health stuff on Elon. Elon is not stupid, and he has now like back pain and stuff. So he's getting old, and he understands he has a body, and he understands he needs the body to stay alive. Otherwise, he won't stay alive. He's not that dumb. I'm pretty sure Elon does medical stuff. Here, Segway inventor drove his Segway off a mountain. Yeah, but he was not a top tier entrepreneur. Does Joe have a Discord or group chat? No, I have pioneerlands.org. You have to go to pioneerlands.org. We will have latest by next week the Pioneer Academy ready. And then we have office hours in the Pioneer Academy. So whatever questions there are about the models, about anything, there will be office hours where we chat and discuss these things. That wasn't the Segway invented, was the third owner, sad story. Yeah. What about orbiting data centers? Not the main topic right now, but they're coming sooner than people think. I think 2028 we have them at scale, 1 gigawatt. That's what I think. It's just completely huge. Do you think we'll see SpaceX drop fall winter once the non-believers surface on Wall Street? No, I think SpaceX has just enormous support. When I look at the fundamentals of SpaceX, it's insane what's coming this year. Enormous buying pressure, but also enormous selling pressure around that 135 all the way to December, end of November. So, interesting situation. I understand SpaceX more and more. I'm getting very comfortable with understanding SpaceX. I will do a whole video on this. Grüße aus Nordzypern, North Cyprus, from Detlef. Detlef Lau in North Cyprus. That's very nice. Cyprus is very nice. Poxy Frostbite is back. There's lots of abundance, but my investment horizon is 30 years. Getting some nice wins is great, but everyone would sacrifice a little short-term growth for a big repricing. We don't have to sacrifice too much more, in my opinion. We have Meldramir from Sverige. Beautiful. Will Centerpartiet choose the commies instead of the big bad SD? I have actually a video on Swedish politics. I'm thinking about if I should launch it. I'm probably going to launch my Swedish politics video on the election soon, on Sunday or something, just for fun. Let's see what happens. Even though you want to move the politics a little bit out of the main YouTube channel and into Pioneer Lands, because I don't think it's good for the algorithm. We should be focused on finance, macro, Tesla, SpaceX, AI stocks, and maybe the politics have to go to Pioneer Lands for the members. But I think Sweden election will be so important. Poor Swedes. I see bad things happening. And let's see what happens. The Swedes are getting gaslit so badly by these evil social democrats. How can this, like, what's happening? Why is no one remembering what they did? And Sweden is doing so well. Sweden has a total turnaround. It's like such a beautiful turnaround. And now they want to kick them out again. Crazy. Centerpartiet, I think there will be, well, we will see. We will see. We can discuss this more. For my long money, how should I split it between Tesla and SpaceX? I think Tesla is more attractive, much, much more attractive on a 6 months horizon. Because SpaceX is actually very attractive in the sense that it can't drop much, in my opinion, for short, selling short puts. But it just has this tremendous selling wall building up and up and up. And the selling wall will become exponentially stronger the more we go north of 135. That's just what it is, just from a mechanical perspective. For now, I mean, at some point, this is over, probably by December. Biden 2028. I mean, if you can run once, being dead, you can run twice, I guess. But I heard AOC is back. Elon said he receives hundreds of death threats every month. That's true. But I mean, that's normal. Not that I do. Mahida, hoping AfD wins big so we can at least partially fix Europe. Yeah, if the AfD takes over Germany, I think Europe is saved. But that's a giant battle. Giant battle. But they will, in my opinion. There's no way back. I do look at a merger premium and have my calculation for it. As of yesterday, about a 83% Tesla premium is priced in. SpaceX will have a greater run, but don't chase. Buy the best deal, and now it's Tesla. 100% Poxy Frostbite. I think long-term, I mean, SpaceX is, of course, legendary, the whole thing. But right now, next 6 months, not so much. Fudbus says 60% Tesla, 30% SpaceX. Nothing against that. Used to be such a nice country. I think you mean Sweden. Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. Dali Vargas says, you were completely right about SpaceX 135. Still feel the price is too high. December 8th, we will be loading on the stock. Also, thank you for the EU political analysis. I'm like torn my political stuff. I like it, But of course, the views are less strong than with investment topics. But I mean, politics is just important. We need to talk about this. Consider making separate politics YouTube channel. Interesting idea. But then I have to start from scratch. Maybe we just, because I don't think you can mix these two things. Maybe I should do a politics channel and go all out. Is that dangerous? Will I get killed? Will I get death threats? Poxy says, keep your channel focused and the algo loves it. Maybe a separate politics channel. Wow. Interesting idea. Pony. I have to look into Pony more. Pony Express. I hope we get a couple hundred cybercabs driving around. Yes. New Tesla fab in India so that Tesla India price can reduce and it will be able to sell heavily. Yeah, that's not easy, but possible. I like 80-20 Tesla SpaceX right now, but those ratios build up in a disciplined way at good prices. Yes, absolutely. Okay, today we have to keep it a little shorter. Let's see where we are at here. Let's do a final check of the market. Let's start with the market itself. We are up how much? Wow, not much. All my stocks are doing great. We are only up 0.44. That is pretty good. Micron, I have a short put 970. I want to stay above 970. I got paid so much money for this short put. Because I'm also, I mean, Micron, it's interesting, my journey with Micron to really dive deep into the analysis. Micron is actually very tricky. It seems so easy because they have so much cash coming in, but the problem is this uncertainty beyond 2028 when you actually model it out. Yeah, I mean, this thing can go down or it can go up. And different from Tesla or SpaceX or Nvidia, this is actually a little bit more uncertain. That doesn't mean I'm bearish. It can absolutely explode much higher. But if anything goes wrong on the demand side, they're living the high life with extremely high margins. So Micron is not that easy to analyze actually, because it's all about 2028. What happens after? Do I think we will need a lot of memory? Of course, but am I as sure as with Cybercap, with Optimus, with AI, Orbital AI? And like, no, I'm not that sure. Also, you see Cerebrus, new chip, much less RAM. So who knows? I'm not a total chip architect, AI hardware architect master. I don't know what you can tweak there to need less memory. Who the hell knows? Tesla, that was a good day. Requires separate channels, create an overview video so world learns how Der Spiegel magazine works. Well, I don't think it's too complicated to understand that separate channels would make sense if it's just politics, one channel. Like, it's just the question of work. But I don't need to do a politics video every day. I just do it once a week. I could just do a weekly politics because I like politics and I think it's very important. And I don't think there's good coverage of European politics. And sometimes, I mean, macro Iran stuff should go on the finance channel because it is all about finance. I mean, American politics, I like a lot. I understand it well, but it's of course more competitive. So focusing maybe on Europe for Americans. But Miller Botanical says, I think you can mix it. People know the vibe is obvious. I like the mix. Yeah, but I feel the algorithm is getting confused by it. A politics channel overview histories. I mean, there's also so much cool stuff to discuss. Like, I love this kind of stuff. I have so many theories, not just theories. For example, did you guys even know when you look at the West, what we call the West, and all these weird cultural things that affect kind of the West? And they say it's like someone wants to bring down all these European countries, which includes America and Canada and Australia, like the countries of the Europeans. But there are like weird things going on where the borders actually run. Like, for example, is Poland and Russia and the Czech Republic, why are they not affected by the woke mind virus, for example? That's a very interesting question. And why are New Zealanders affected and Australians? What do they share in common that maybe Eastern Europe doesn't have some baggage? So I have a very big theory on this. Yeah, I'm also thinking about more collabs, like more interviews on the channel. But we have so much to do. We had to set up the academy. We need your global insights, Joe. I mean, I would love to do that, but I do think it's a separate channel. Once a week, separate channel, just for fun. We see what happens. But a new channel, I start at 0. I mean, who knows? Exactly. I can't burn out. I have so much to do here with the Capital Academy. But politics, we need to fight. Virtual Viking says, why can't the other social democrat parties learn from their Danish sister party? I mean, the interesting thing is that in Denmark, patriotism comes before party, only in Denmark. You know, every social democrat normally would throw their country under the bus, of course, for power. The Danes, because maybe it's so tiny and cute, the country, and there are not so many Danes, in Denmark, you know, there are these social democrats and they just realize, oh, our country's going down the drain. We have to change something. Like, who does that? I've never heard that before from a social democrat. So the Danes are different. You can't learn from the Danes if you're not a Dane. Frost, I learned a lot about European politics through your videos. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are interested in European politics because a lot of people are Europeans and they have a bond to Europe. If you live in Sydney, but you're all like half German, half Irish, whatever, you are interested in this kind of stuff and you have a, you know, emotional and inherited relation. Oh yeah, it will be. Yeah, if they dig out my channel in the future, some archaeologists dig it out of the sand and find the channel, and suddenly they will understand everything that happened in the 2020s. Proxy Frostbite. I really appreciate independent political overviews of things like the major German elections. Eastern Europe becomes a Russian proxy even when they are totally against them. We need a balance of left and right. Yeah. America used to be patriots first. Democrats have destroyed that. Yeah, exactly. That's a problem. Don't risk getting your main channel banned. I also think something is going on. Like, I had a lot of success when I did my first Germany video, and now it's like it feels really suppressed, the whole thing. Germany is heating up, guys. I tell you, Germany, big things are happening. So maybe there's some YouTube things happening too. Ooh, wondering what the theory is. Some places in South America don't have it also, like El Salvador. Yes, that is true. Will Tesla drop on Monday since it has gained more than 5% today? No, Sunil, I think it will drop when this thing launches. I've been training for more than 30 years. I'm not a wacko trying to pump a stock. Just give Pony a look when you have time. I will take a look. The local Balkan situation is still a bit tense compared to other regions. That friction creates less trade, both cultural and financial, and so they become financially not so powerful. True. Social democrats today are just essentially just socialists. Well, yeah, socialist is one thing, but there might be worse things going on than that. My Danish friend told me 30 years ago that Muslims were a problem well before Americans knew it. Yeah, Denmark is an interesting. place. Like button. Yes, like and subscribe, of course. Okay, guys, we have to wrap it up. I like the discussion. I mean, a politics channel, I mean, I like, this could be politics, but it could also be my greater theories about like, a lot of people don't know a lot of things about European history that affects everyone, and definitely America and Australia, New Zealand, Canada. Like there are lots of things to know. And once you know them, it's like, wow, just historic things, the history. And I'm not talking about the 20th century. I'm talking about everything that started at 455 AD. That's when it all started, right? The Goths and everything. So let's see how this all goes. But for now, we just get rich with Tesla and some others. The Pioneer bonds, finally. Oh, we have major breakthroughs with the Pioneer bonds, but this is not for now. The Pioneer bonds will be so beautiful. I can't even like put it into words. We finally have it probably all wrapped up. That took much longer than expected. History lessons. Like a mix of history. Yeah, Poxy, you're probably right. Maybe I should just do it as a hobby, because this here is not a hobby. This is much more than a hobby. This is because I love trading and stocks and predicting, and Pioneer Lens is definitely not a hobby. But politics, maybe I should just think of it as a hobby. You know, have some beautiful little videos and then see what happens. And be a little more, maybe take a history perspective or something like that and put it into perspective. I will think more about it. Exactly. We can like form, because in politics everything is so dumb. People are just having random opinions and throwing randomness out there, and they don't understand this is all part of a great arc of history. And once you see the arc and can just research more and learn more, it's like, wait a moment. Wait a moment. Now I understand what's going on here. Yeah, and I can just make it very chill. And it's like, this is just what's happening, and explain the whole thing and present it more as like historic theory. But then I also have to mix in the current politics, because that's very hot. But I should also, it's very important to be neutral and just say, here's what I think is going to happen, without even saying what's right and wrong. And I think that's toxic. It's not commentary. It's more like, okay, this is happening. I predict this will happen, because what's actually true is this, and what's actually not true is this. So I'm a little neutral. I can help the word avoid social as well. That is a big theory, because the problem is, I tell you guys, the problem, one of the biggest problems on earth is that all the people like you guys and me, we have these smart discussions, and then we think, oh, if we could only do this with the dumb people, everyone would understand what's going on. But that's not how it works, okay? That's not how it works. The whole brain structure is different. It's just different. You can't, like, the idea, if you go to like a Bernie Sanders fan or like a Kamala Harris fan, dudes for, what was it, white dudes for Kamala or something. If you go to them and you say, did you ever think about, like, look, the border, and then there is no social cohesion, and then there's more crime, and then we have to spend more money, and then we run out of money. They don't even know what you're talking about. That's not how the brain works. Okay, that's the problem. You guys think they only do stupid things because they don't understand, and they wish they would understand. So if you help them understand, they're acting more intelligently. This is not the case. This is not the modus operandi. It's more complicated. There should be an IQ test before letting people vote. Yeah, there could be many tests, but Yes, exactly. Yes, I understand. So, okay, guys, I have to wrap it up. A lot of things are happening tonight, but glad we have another successful Tesla day here. The dark times might be over soon, but expect another drop when this launches. But we are now really moving towards this important moment. That's why it's important to always stay tuned on this whole story. Great. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you. I will see you very soon. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Friday. Bye bye.